Welcome to Alive on One, a gaming or miniatures-based podcast. I'm here tonight with a full crew. I'm here with Jin. How you doing, Jin?
Hey, folks. How's it going?
I'm here with Pedro.
Hello, guys.
And Sean. How you doing?
Going on?
I don't know what is going on. So, without further ado, tonight we're going to talk. We haven't really done any one of these episodes, as our co-host here, Jin, pointed out. So we're going to review the new Asgard box with Valkyrie and Elendil as one model, and Warriors 3 as the next. I guess it's a five-person box for two models. So
there are 5 aliases, yes, in this box.
Yeah. So we're going to be reviewing that tonight, doing kind of like an open box, because that comes out, what is it, like 1 or 2 days after this will be released? Next week? Or are they already out this week?
No, it's I believe it is actually this week they're being released, if I read the calendar correctly.
So maybe you got a few games in with them. It's like this. I think it's Friday actually, which is tomorrow, when we're recording. But anyways, either way, they're either really close to being released or they've already released. So, and TTS, they've been available for a while, which a lot of people use to test stuff out. So, yeah. But without further ado, our normal introduction stuff. Jen, you got a live on one for us?
Yeah, just a quick one that's actually on topic. I was just playing with the Warriors 3 yesterday. Going into a Namor who left them alive on one, which is really annoying because then they got to reposition themselves onto one of the lockdown points. And then because they were juiced with all that power and they got 1 health back, so they're back at only 2 damage or 2 health remaining, able to put 3 attacks in the Namor. Now, they whiffed terribly, but that's because of just bad dice rolls. But if they even rolled just average, I think Namor definitely would have been dead, because they survived that attack. Because they can do their 2 normal attacks, right? And then they got that additional power that lets them do a third, 0-cost attack. So yeah, I was very surprised by these guys. They're really annoying, but we can talk more about them later on this episode.
Absolutely. Very cool. Namor dying is always a good thing. Unless I'm playing him. Then fuck off. So, alrighty. Hobby catch up. So I just have some stuff here. So today, actually, cool story for those of you who hobby. I just looked at the screen. They're all on mute. They're like, all right, time to sleep. Steven's talking.
Go on, Steven.
I look over the screen and all 3 of you are on mute. Hobby section, mute. I love it. But anyways, turns out when you half paint things for a while, or you're working on models, and then you decide one morning that you wake up a little early, you're like, I'm going to finish all of these. So I finished five models today. I finished it's Emma. So both of her models are done. I finished a Black Cat I was repainting that I forgot I was doing. I finished Wong and I finished Gorgon. And then I base coated a bunch of shit for other stuff. So, very cool. Starting my test scheme for my Nurgle people. Speaking of which, our first AOS episode we're recording this weekend, so that content will start being pushed out. So if you like that, you can listen to those episodes. But hobby catch up, that's kind of it. Anyone else doing anything? I mean, you're all on mute, so.
I've commissioned Mike Waller to paint models for me for Shatterpoint, and that is the extent of my hobbying so far.
Nice. And we've all committed to commissioning Mike Waller to join the WTC team. So. Anyways, anyone else?
Yeah, I've commissioned Mike to paint my things.
Pedro, you too?
Yeah.
Oh no. I guess so have I. So technically the news here is Mike Waller, finish our models. So, cool. And then we have some upcoming event announcements. So we got 2 tournaments on February 21st, one in Maine, one in New Jersey. Realm of Legends in Freeport, Maine. Stephen Maddox is hosting that one. February 21st is a Saturday?
It is a Saturday, yeah.
Okay. So that's Saturday, February 21st, which time of this release will probably be in a few days. So if you haven't heard about these, yeah, it'll be in a few days, 2 or 3. So I'm going to make this announcement just randomly right now. I think I'm going to change our release dates instead of Thursday mornings to Wednesday mornings because I was looking at some of the releases of other podcasts and Thursday is pretty crowded. So I want to be on a day where maybe people have more time to listen. So, anyways, Realm of Legends, Steve Maddox hosting that up in Maine. Our Red Seal Games, kind of our typical Red Seal New Jersey tournaments. I've never actually been there, but one of these days I'll get down for one. I was thinking of going to that one actually, Jin, and then I was like, I have clinic, so I would have had to move that around to go. So I'm not going to.
Look at you being responsible.
I'm responsible. You guys just don't fucking hear about it. Like the days and nights I'm like studying, no one hears that. Except, I mean, I complain about it, I bet, but
Yeah, a lot.
it's okay. Well, fuck y'all. It's a lot, motherfucker.
No, but
Alright.
yeah, we hope to see you down in one of these. They're a good time.
I want to make one for sure. Just has to be on the stars have to kind of align in my schedule for me to like make it down there.
You can crash on my couch.
Oh, okay. I mean, I can stay at your house. I can stay at Rob's house. Everybody. Rob has a full basement for me usually where I can get butt ass naked. So, that might be more appealing.
Nice.
Well, I guess if your couch has the same rule.
Yeah, who says that Pedro won't offer that?
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Sent me a GIF of a really long sandwich today referencing
The long way.
Okay. All right. Dick jokes aside, on the next day in Cherry Hill, New Jersey, we have Top Deck Games. How far are those apart from each other? Red Seal and Top Deck.
Like an hour?
Okay. Was one like South Jersey?
15? It's
Cherry
around
Hill is more South Jersey, right?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay. Yeah, as I was stalking Sean's Facebook, I noticed you were born in New Jersey.
I was, unfortunately.
Yeah, don't tell anyone that.
No one needs to know that.
Are you a Taylor ham or pork roll guy?
Pork roll.
Oh, God. You're one of these guys.
Yeah. What are you expecting? What did you expect me to say? Come on.
It's Taylor ham, guys.
You just heard what I said. What are you expecting me to say?
So that's in Cherry Hill on Sunday, February 22nd. I'm guessing that's a Sunday because if the 21st is a Saturday, I can do math.
Deductive reasoning.
Yeah. Well, that's more like addition. But
okay, sorry. Yeah. Whoops.
And then next we have the Battle Standard in East Windsor, Connecticut. March 1st? Question mark.
Yeah, the event coordinator at the Battle Standard has swapped roles recently, so they just need to get this up the line. So they don't want me to hard promote it until after it's on their system for realsies. But look out for March 1st Sunday tournament for that day, okay?
That is a Sunday, and that is Sunday of spring break. So if you go, you'll see Spring Break Steven, which is a different beast. I'll act the same, but internally, it'll be a much different game. So, and then after that, weirdly enough, only 5 weeks away, we have the Alive on One charity event for Dana-Farber. We're raising money for Dana-Farber Cancer Institute at Midgard in Derry, New Hampshire. That's March 21st, which is a Saturday. Depending on the amount of people, will dictate kind of amount of rounds we go. But for now, it's 3 or 4 still. So sign up today, and that'll be an all-day thing. Great cause. We talked about it a lot. You'll start probably seeing me very soon, posting that everywhere. So apologies for the annoyance, but I really like. I want to make sure that event's successful because it really is going for a good cause. And I know cancer is affected. When we started this podcast, the cancer affected one of our co-hosts, and then other members. It affects everybody, right? So it's just a good time to like play some games and raise some money. So Midgard is an awesome store for paint. So if you paint, go there.
Yep. They also supported us quite well, like in the charity event. Like super generous of them. So
they literally matched whatever we rose in our raffle. So it was kind of crazy. But yeah, so those are some events coming up. And then after March, in terms of big events, CallCon's going on soon, isn't it? Or already did, something like that?
Yeah, so CarCon is going to happen, I think, on the 21st as well. I believe it is sold out, but there is a waiting list. But I figured it was kind of too short notice to put on there. But regardless if you're going to CarlCon, I hope you guys have a great time. Carl does good events.
Yeah, and some of our TTS maps we all play on have been inspired from said event. So that's a big one. That's one of the big ones coming up. And then after that, I think probably Squad Goals is the next biggest event. And that's the dates were announced for that. We should probably say that anyway. So if you haven't heard and you want to put together a team, Squad Goals is May 30th and 31st, correct? In Chicago?
Yes. Yep. It's the last 2 days of May in Chicago. I think they're still trying to pin down the venue, but it should be in the Chicago area for those 2 days.
And that's an awesome tournament. So if you're local or you're thinking of flying out, I highly, highly recommend that one. I can't go this year, but Jen will be there, and Waller will probably be there, and others. So,
yep, there'll be at least 2 Alive on One members going to that tournament.
Yeah, I think the rest of us are not. So at least 2, probably only 2, but it's a great event though. Like I think we did an episode on it last year. So if you want to kind of see our review on Squad Goals, that was at some point last year that we recorded that around May. So you can look for it in the backlog. If you're interested in hearing about that event, but it was awesome. So shout outs to that. And sign up as soon as you can, because it feels pretty, I mean, there were like 45 teams there last year or something like that.
I wouldn't say 40-ish teams, but there was a significant amount of people. I mean, there was 40-ish players probably there, I think, at the end of the day.
Oh, I thought it was more than that, but it felt like more than that.
It was a lot of players. So it was a good event.
Yeah, absolutely. Cool. And without further ado, we'll walk on to our walk-on. We'll start our main topic tonight, and I'll kind of hand it over to Jin for this because, to be honest with our listeners, I have not really playtested or read any of this. So,
I know it's not Dormammu. It's not the Dormammu terrain. You're like, who gives a crap?
Hey, I don't care about the Dormammu terrain. Trust me. People were getting really excited. I was like, okay. Cool beans, buddy.
Wow, what have you become?
It's terrain, man. I've always hated. Okay, I'm going to change the timestamp here, but I've always historically. Well, Sean brought it up, but I've historically always couldn't stand painting terrain. I was like, why can't I just buy this pre-built, pre-painted, and just like put it on for my beautiful models to stand around? So I don't like painting terrain. That's something you won't find me doing.
Watch they add more TTC cards for Dark Dimension, and then you're forced to buy it.
That would be what they do. So
yeah,
I hear there's a certain Mike guy that'll paint it
for you.
Yeah, for you.
Mike Waller is currently taking commissions. Paint your way to WTC. That's the Waller and Burke way this year.
We got a slogan and everything.
Join us as you see us struggle, get frustrated, and go through lots of acrylic paint. All right. Anyways, on to tonight's main topic.
Yep. Sure. So we're talking about Valkyrie, Elendil, and Warriors 3. I think I would like to start with Warriors 3 because, man, I sure was very confused upon their first reveal. So did when people saw the rules for the first time for Warriors 3, did anyone have any hot impressions? Like, what were your feelings? Let's see. Pedro, did you have any first impressions upon?
Yeah, no, I was thinking of how to make up a sentence here. They were like cheaper Wrecking Crew, is what I saw them as, but a little bit more durable because they can heal. So, and I thought when I saw them, I was like, finally a better 3 in Asgard.
Oh, you took it from me.
I'm sorry. I read your brain, man.
That's okay. It's okay. You're speaking the truth. You're speaking
It's like
the
you
truth.
have ESPN or something, Pedro.
Yeah, right?
Pedro and I did an episode together, so we're linked.
Yep.
To expand on that, Sean, why do you think this is a better 3 than what Asgard currently has?
So I like Scourge, and I think Valkyrie is a fine model for what they do. But I think that both of them are kind of one-trick ponies in terms of how they play. I think that they kind of have each of them has kind of one big thing that they want to do, whereas Valk is kind of you want to charge Blender, and which we've seen through the test of time, considering she's a very old model. And Scourge is a good bodyguard, but he can kind of fall apart here, which is also kind of a theme that the Warriors 3 have. The difference is that these guys are a little bit more versatile. I feel like they may have, at first glance, it may look like they have a plethora of attacks, and they do. And there's quite a few triggers here as well for quite a few different things that they can do, but they're deceptively annoying, I think, is kind of the best word I'd like to use here. I think that on paper, on their card, their superpowers kind of seem like, okay, cool. This is very reminiscent of Wrecking Crew for sure. But I think that these guys have, their Grim Resolve and My Steel Shell Strike for Thee are excellent powers on their cards that do a lot of push a lot of pressure in kind of ways that I don't think a 3-threat, or at least the ways that you would envision an Asgard 3-threat to play.
Yeah, the combination of Grim Resolve and My Steel Strike for Thee. So here's the thing. So they're on a large base, right? So right. So
correct.
Because they move short, right? They're going to cover way more distance than, let's say, a Scourge or a Bill would, right? When they do an aggressive. On top of that, then they have a counterattack that's actually a range 3 counterattack, which is pretty rare. So I think outside of like Venom, I think no one else really gets to counterattack within range, like within range 3. I like Daredevil and Miles, like Ultimate, they have to like do that advance to get within 2. But you're getting to both parts of Grim Resolve to move towards the character, and then a range 3. I mean, I haven't really done the math yet, and I probably should have, but I feel like that's probably like a size like range 5, right, worth of like threat range to counterattack back, I want to say.
Yeah, it's also cool too if you look at the combination with the gainer that it forces you to attack with. Since you are attacking with a gainer, essentially this is a 1 cost. If you think about it that way, you'll still have a power if you just completely whiff the attack.
Yep, and it also potentially gives you a bleed condition, right? And you counterattacking someone doing a bleed to them means that they probably will take 1 damage at the end of their activation too, from just that current activation, which I think is really interesting.
Exactly. Yeah, which is a lot, and you just said it too. It's a lot of what makes Venom appealing, right? Or like Dracula appealing, where you can counterattack conditions on their turn. So you're getting a lot here for a 3-threat. Plus, Warriors 3 being Asgardian, being able to gain 2 power for turn is also, not nothing as well. They kind of, they can do anything they want on turn 1 that their card says. Obviously, they can't. They can be airlifted in and things like that and do some cool stuff here that we'll get into later. But yeah, at first glance, definitely more than just a bunch of swords coming at you, right?
Yeah, exactly. Pedro, Steven, any other initial thoughts on Warriors 3? Like now that you may have seen them on the table, like any like particular feelings of like how they actually are on the table?
No, I think that they play really well, especially with Asgard, and like how Sean puts it, they're very versatile. And I mean, I love the 0 cost, and it's like you just said, it only costs 1, which is really nice. I feel like these guys also heal relatively quick with like Thor's lead.
Yeah, you know who else likes these guys? Sam Wilson does.
Yes. Yep.
Because
God, that's right.
They are size 2, which is crazy. And they can just be airlifted in, and then they love the leadership.
Yep.
They can stack it, and they can really make Grim Resolve pretty potent.
Yeah. I mean, I was testing them out in a mighty list with Valkyrie, the like 2 or 3 games I tried to pull in, and it was like, oh, okay, airlift, and then Valkyrie's also going to like lift you again, and I just basically put them almost on the middle, and I was like, okay, where am I going?
And then they have 3 attacks because they have the power to attack for that third, the third go.
Third go, exactly. Yeah, no, they're really good.
Yeah, and these guys they're a 3-threat.
Yes.
I can't stress enough the amount of work that they can put in for their value.
So something that I kind of underlooked was the fact that like, oh, these guys would just walk and then strike 1 for Volstagg to still attack somebody on the midline. while you are also on the midline. So if it's like a pay to flip scenario or something, or if you did something, if an objective is not claimed for a reason, they can still just do like the Fimbo Drugger spear.
There you go.
Mhm.
Or
There you go.
I'm gonna say that's Fandrill's attack. So you can do Fandrill's attack because I'm assuming he's the guy that's like attacking from range 3.
Mm-hmm.
And you're just going to gain the power automatically.
I believe it's pronounced Fimbledrugger.
Fimbledrugger.
And he's back. He's back.
Yeah. No, not really. All right. Peace.
Say the other two names.
How much liquor do you need to consume before?
All right. Keep going. We got one more. And
Hydursiger. I sound like the fucking Swedish chef.
That's
You're not wrong, actually.
That was incredible. That was incredible. There's some
we're all
fanfare
Muppets here. Mike is Kermit. I'm the chef, and then others later.
Yeah, I'll be the rat thing.
You could be Gonzo.
The
Yeah, I'll be the rat.
All right. Sorry for that interruption.
The attacks are all like pretty good. So yeah, you got a builder, right? That gives you a stun. So if you want to like build a lot of power, you can go for that. But there's something to be said just for a solid range 3 gainer. And then the Brandhood Unsiger with the Volt Stack attack, right? The suspender that just scales with an opponent's like threat level. Is like incredible sometimes because like you're seeing a lot of threat 5s plus. So like rolling 9 dice in the Namor feels like really good, and then potentially you can just randomly do an additional 3 damage to them, even if you suffer that stagger condition. So like it's good, man.
Yeah, the three damage is really cool to see because you think about characters that do things that are similar, right? So think about like Lady Mastermind, who can condition and then pop for damage, and these guys are kind of doing it a little bit more easily. They don't need the setup; they kind of already are. So you just gotta kind of place them in front of something big. Which, we're kind of getting into a point here in this game where people are slapping some pretty high threat models on the table. These guys feel pretty relevant. Or they feel like they will be.
Yeah, big time. These guys on a Grand Illusion turn is probably hilarious. Unlike your opponent's Grand Illusion turn.
Oh my goodness.
2 crits. You're like, awesome, thanks.
Oh my goodness.
Here's 3 damage.
Oh my god.
So you're just like, I don't care, thanks.
Well, yeah. Oh my goodness.
Joke's on you. I wanted to be clumsy.
Yeah, right.
Where do you guys, since I kind of want to keep the train going on them, but you guys want to like run through the leaderships in Asgard and kind of see where we feel in terms of where these guys fit a little bit better than others?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
So we have 3 leaderships, right? Pedro, you already talked about you liked them under Thor 1, right?
Yes.
So
Yep. I like them under Thor 1 because you can heal at the beginning of their turn. You can heal the damage, or you can remove a special condition. So I feel like these guys are a lot more tankier, especially if you leave them on 1, because then you can do Grim Resolve to remove 1, and then on their turn, that power you just gave them, they just spend 1 to remove it again. So then now they're going lower and lower. I think it lets them survive a little bit longer, of course, and I think Thor 1's leadership is awesome, especially if you do stagger yourself on the spender. You could, on your next activation, spend 1 to remove the stagger as well. So it's not really hindering you as bad as you would think.
yeah, I would agree. Sean, which leadership are you looking at with these guys?
I actually kind of have some interest in them in a Loki leadership, Loki 2. I think that these guys have a lot of play where I think Loki can port these guys up the board, but also Loki can attack and deliver enemy models to them so that they can be in range to attack. The way I see it is more attacks paired next to Loki means more opportunities for skulls to be pinged. Not only that, but where's my thought? My thought's going on that one. More, I got it back.
It's okay.
Really, what these guys is, you're gonna end up gaining a lot of power out of them if you're not doing the spender often. So if there's a threat level there that doesn't really meet the requirements, or it's not worth it, then you probably have a good amount of power to dump. So you can kind of fuel Loki's leadership, where Loki can in turn probably, and by probably I mean I've seen it firsthand, where he can just move and spender and just reposition the board with ease and still have power to teleport. So I feel like they kind of anybody with excess power is going to enable him, and these guys, it feels like there's a lot of room to give them power. They feel like Taskmaster-esque, where they've just kind of they're sitting on a bunch, and obviously they're going to use their own, but using their own kit still gets them power. So it kind of returns the favor.
Yeah, that's actually a good point, because I think for both Valkyrie and Scourge, they're very on a very tight power economy, because I think Valkyrie she can just spend the 0 very easily, and she kind of wants to most of the time, right? Because it doesn't scale by the opponent. It just I just want good quality attacks. Scourge can only have so much power in a game to actually do the terrain throw or choose a spender. He has to choose very deliberately which one he wants to use. This is a 3-threat in Asgard that actually can build excess power to access more Loki rerolls. I think that is actually a good point. And man, if you don't kill them and they get the Grim Resolve and you get a what a pity you, that becomes this entire cycle just oh god, and then they counterattack with Frimble Drugger. And it's
it's really cool. It's really cool to see the pity ping damage while they're healing themselves and moving and shifting. It's almost kind of like you're playing a crazy game of if your positioning is good, you don't even want to attack these guys, which they're fine with.
Yeah. The thing that we should mention again, it's there's 3/3/3 across the board and 5 health on each side. It feels like such an old ye old day stat line for a 3-threat these days. It gets rarer, outside of maybe some of the newer X-Men models, but that's kind of it, I feel, these days for 3-threats.
Yeah, I agree with you completely, but it's kind of cool to see how they gave them a pretty broad, this is a Gwen Stacy, this is a Ghost Spider stat line, right? So you look at that and everybody says, man, she's so fragile, but look at what they did to compensate for that. And we're kind of saying these guys are really cool in the middle of a fight, and you're still seeing them be worth their threat, and they're putting in the work, because the rest of what they do almost kind of overcompensates for that. But I think if they had anything bigger, it would be a little more unfair. I'm kind of thinking of these guys, if say they were 4/3/3, right? Well, now Doom Prophecy in Asgard looks real good, right? Almost too good.
Yeah, so if you kind of know that they're just going to die anyway, it's okay, why not just give 3 extra dice, right, to all my attacks for a round?
Mm-hmm. It's also kind of a cool theming thing, right? Because these guys are kind of goofy. So the charging in and just battling is kind of what they kind of want to do thematically. And the card really shows it. I think this is an excellent depiction of these guys as characters too, which when they get it right, they get it real right.
Oh man, yeah. Also during so the other thing about with the Doom Prophecy is the fact that they have is it active for the entire round that you've activated, or just for their activation that they get the extra dice?
I believe it's till the end of the round. So if somebody attacks them and they don't die, then they can counter and still get the
extra dice. Yep.
Yes.
Yo, that's hilarious. Yeah, because they're gonna get more. Oh my god, yeah.
Yeah, they would get way more. Yeah.
Yeah, so they get more attack opportunities than any other Doom Prophecy character, I think.
Yeah, so this is this the makeup for Heimdall, where Heimdall gets he gets the counterattack if you go
Sean,
within.
I feel so bad. I was thinking about the Asgard threes. I'm just oh yeah, Valkyrie and Scourge. I totally
Yeah.
forgot
Forgot
about
about
Heimdall.
Heimdall.
No. You did it. You did it right. You did it right.
Oh,
Don't
no.
apologize. He doesn't. He probably fits elsewhere. I don't think that Heimdall does a whole lot for any of these guys. I don't even.
Hey.
Yes.
Heimdall, in this one fringe situation, can help Squirrel Girl to re-roll her team tactics card so that you can KO a model instantly.
Where did you pull this? This is like back of the brain, like the
Yeah.
dark,
Oh, no.
dusty corner.
This is-
It's front of the brain because
the
I've had people try to do it.
Yeah, it's just like how we can get Supergiant Spender to date somebody, or, you know.
Hey, but Heimdall is good in that one specific situation that you might not even accomplish.
Dormammu.
Yeah,
No.
Gorm.
To KO a big guy.
Oh.
It's her team taxes card. Okay, we're not going into the Squirrel Girl thing.
Yeah, no.
But
We're,
Look it
No,
up.
we definitely can. What a shame
no,
because
don't look it up. Try it out.
The new good under Steve 1 is good under Dormammu.
Yeah, what a shame. Heimdall is such a nice looking sculpt too, and he was one of my favorite models to paint when he released. What a shame.
Yeah.
It's okay. It's one of those models you played and you went, oh.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I felt like I wasted like 8 hours of my time. So
Audience members, please forgive our poo-pooing of Heimdall. He actually does have a decent home, but it's unfortunately not within Asgard, which is, I feel like, a very sad tragedy whenever you're not good in your own affiliation. He does have home other else's, though, other places.
he does definitely, just not where you'd think he'd be. Correct.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, all right. So now we feel pretty good that this is a solid 3 threats that Asgard has now.
Yeah, we haven't even really touched on the fact that these guys can utilize some really good tactics cards too within the affiliation to make them even better and scarier.
Yeah, did we even do Jane lead it with these guys? Might actually be really good.
Oh, yeah. So that's the leadership I was playing with yesterday with them. So yeah, it's exactly what it is. You know, the no additional resources. They just get an additional reroll, right, and an additional offensive defensive reroll depending on the situation they're in. They're usually going to be in range 2, so they usually get their additional reroll for the melee. But then once in a while, that outside of range 2 defense roll does let them live a little longer. And man, is it annoying for them to trigger Grim Resolve and just walk towards you with that as well. So yeah, I think they actually work under all 3 leaderships, which is a nice thing to see as well.
Yep, that's exactly what I was going to say. Is that I think you could plug them within all 3, which is really kind of cool and refreshing to see some stuff that synergizes well with original Thor's leadership. Because that's kind of be a cool little comeback that I think we'll be seeing more of.
Yeah, it's nice to feel that you can get an affiliate 3 that will just do work most of the time, assuming they don't get one shot, which can happen in this game. But outside of that, if they live through their attacks, they seem like they're going to be in a great spot.
Yeah, don't park them on the midline. Turn 1 with your first activation.
God,
don't do that.
Let it simmer a little bit. Let them cook a little bit.
Yeah, I would try to leave these guys as last activation on a flank. That's especially if they will have to go with their guys first. But if you don't get last activation with them and they have the biggest speeder still ready to go, play more backline, be more conservative, wait for them to come and shine through the next round. You don't have to get these on the midline because they are worth it so much more to you to be able to make their multiple attacks and not die.
Right?
Yeah.
Even if you have to give up a VP for it, they will make it up. I think most of the time. Let's see. And then we have their Warriors Oath card. I don't know if you guys had a chance to look at the tactics card they brought. It is Asgard affiliated only. So
I have. It's kind of a foreign assignment Agent Venom card-ish, which I really enjoy these when they pop up.
Yeah, so what I completely miss about first reading this card is I didn't see the place 3. That's crazy, actually. So, and it triggers on another Asgard character doing an attack. So the fact that it happens as a instead of an aid tactics card for whoever's actually going at the time, which I thought was interesting.
Yeah, it gives them a little bit of movement for free, right? Well, not for free, but what they can do with it is pretty crazy. So Fandrel's fighting wit, so everyone gets shock and stun. Oh, I guess an enemy character. Okay, so you're not getting like an area effect, but yeah.
I mean, even just like paying 2 just for the fact that you can have an ally within range 3, right? That does an attack, and then they place within range 1 of that character with their large base. Like that is a lot of placement effect that you get out of them. Like you could do this for various reasons. Like they could actually be holding an extract, and you could teleport them to safety doing this as well, and not just for the assistant things. Like I'm thinking about like all these weird movement applications you can do. Like with them for this.
You know what's kind of cool is you can Warrior's Oath, and you can port them next to Scourge, and then Scourge can bodyguard for them. So you can kind of put him within, and then if Scourge is kind of attacking somebody within 2, he's good to bodyguard, which means you can kind of get in a bunch of good attacks and feel semi-safe with them, which is a really cool ability. I mean, I like all the extras for, the power for the healing, the conditions. I like giving the power. I like what it does, but you're right. I mean, Jen, you hit the nail on the head. I think the best part about this is the place, honestly.
Yeah, it can like get you back in the game.
Agreed. Yeah, those guys can kind of run off a flank, and then they can just port right to where they need them. It's kind of reminds me of the errata change they did to Scourge and Enchantress's card, where Scourge can port himself around the board to whoever's getting something thrown at them, an ally, and kind of get him into the fight too, which is so good for like it's good to like good for overcorrecting on mistakes for maybe deployment or placing. If you kind of put someone on a flank that you didn't want them to be there, and you can change kind of. Or if you kind of want to warp between points, right? You're playing something like Wedding Party, and the points are kind of within, and you've got that mobility to hop from one to the other, and kind of flip a board state.
Yeah, no, that's true actually. You can even and the thing side note on the Scourge thing too is that you can deliberately just throw terrain into your own guys, right, to trigger a collision test,
right?
Which can then allow you to just teleport Scourge right from anywhere. So, like, I could see some really cheeky plays of, between either that card or Warriors Oath to be like, we can try to extend like far out to get something, and then you can bring him back into the fight, which is an interesting play pattern.
Yeah.
You can manipulate the cards bend them to your will.
And if I'm reading this correct, you can also just heal yourself on this card.
Yeah, because it doesn't say other allied character.
Yeah, so you can just do an allied. You could just choose yourself on this one too.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, or just get crunked and just heal yourself. It's fine.
Yeah. So they do have a very fair bit of. I mean, you could just spend 2 power, port, and then heal yourself. Put yourself in a good position. Yeah, agreed.
This feels really bad into characters that clap back. Like imagine like you attack like new Miles, and then you port yourself, and then also give him shock and stun while healing your other ally characters. So it's like now his clapback is only 4 dice. It's not really going to be doing a lot.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah, so if you're the attacker, this will trigger first before the mouse clapback happens.
Yes. Yep, because it's after attacker's resolve. So you would go first. So you teleport, you give them shock and stun, and you remove 2, and then you go like, okay, cool, you're not going to do anything right now.
Yeah, no, I like it. Man, I should have taken this card yesterday. Shoot.
Yeah. You can also like Sean said, or I think Jin said it. You can just like give someone their bodyguard back online.
All right.
So yeah,
dope.
It's good. It's a really good card.
Yep. No, I like it. Yeah. So yeah, definitely. This I think this definitely makes your Asgard 10 if you have Warriors like 3 in there, and maybe fairly often if you intend to play your Warriors 3. I think because it's relatively versatile here.
Yeah, you can also smack Frey's Blessing onto this or Odin's, and they can be quite tanky if you want to burn tactics cards.
Oh yeah, big time.
Yeah, I think the more we're talking about this is like, well, this design is very annoying and very cool. Like,
yes,
that's why I kind of I feel like this kind of really urges an in-affiliation play with these guys. I mean, I can see some cool places elsewhere, but the unlocking of the Warriors 3 is kind of Asgard strictly, which is they're affiliated, so yeah, but the tactics cards really help that, which is really cool when you can kind of see the support come from the cards too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no notes. Otherwise, I think we're good. Shall we move on to Valkyrie and Elendil, or does anyone have any remaining thoughts for Warriors 3?
No, I think they're pretty awesome. I like their positioning and all that. I was just thinking of like ideas like Sean brought up the Loki and you guys brought up the pity thing. Like you could just move S. Like if someone's trying to shoot your range 5, you could just move S towards them and try to be exactly range 3 of Loki.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, yeah, I think they just do a lot. I think they're awesome.
Yeah, this is what I wish Venom got.
We don't talk about that.
Oh yeah,
we don't
right.
talk about that.
So anyway.
So Sean, you say Venom?
What? I didn't say anything.
I've been quiet this whole time, and
that was
when I can throw shade.
It was a Freudian slip. No.
Freudian slip.
Yeah, it was like
sexual in some way. Oh, Jin. Yeah. Okay, so we're gonna have to future episodes. We'll be like, all right, who can Jin go on with? And no, I'm just kidding. I mean, did you listen to the last week? I'll talk to you later about that.
Okay.
Oh, so we can get unhinged.
No, this podcast never.
Yeah. So my thoughts on the Warrior 3 are they're super annoying. By the way, that's
You're
all.
playing Dormammu, and they're really
that means
annoying.
they're good.
Yeah, it does mean they're good. When something annoys me, it usually is because it's good.
Yep.
Yeah, Mr. Triple Double Bubble, Triple Bubble,
Quadruple Bubble,
Bubble over here. Listen, you know what? I don't even want to hear it. These guys would walk into that bubble and they would just get eviscerated. So,
yeah, probably.
Yeah. All right. Anyway,
is there? Speaking of which, actually, I know we're talking about the Warriors 3 too, but like, is there a bunker buster model that Asgard use? Loki, right?
Yeah, probably just
would
be their one.
Yeah, Loki would probably be the best one. Yeah.
Anyone with an area attack? Thor's Spender.
Yeah, Thor's Spender does it too.
Yeah. So I'm just thinking like, cause double bubbles are around. So like, maybe it's considered, maybe like running a Warriors 3 under Loki if you're playing into them or something like that. So like when you're constructing a list with them, having more than one leader in Asgard might be like a move to do with these new models.
Yep. Also for normal bunker busting, like Bill and Thor 1 could just walk up and just throw people out of the bubble before they do their attack.
Very true.
So, you move either their bodyguard or their, Zemo or Namor, like out of something, right? Then that becomes a lot more manageable, right? As an option.
Yeah. Okay. Sorry for the bunker busting tangent, but it's on my mind.
It's really relevant because, like, at the time of recording, folks, like, a double bubble is definitely like a very strong list archetype that you're seeing a lot at the moment. And Asgard's, I don't think actually is that bad. It's like, messing up that,
Yeah, for sure. And there's, like what we've seen the King rules. That's kind of a bunker-esque leadership too. And there's more than that. Pretty much anything Ben Lauka run. Lauka, how do you say his last name, Jim?
Lauka? I'd say Lauka. I'd say Lauka like the potato pancakes.
Okay. I'm going to go with that because it's easier to say. Anything Ben and Lauka runs. So Winter Guard's also a double bubble. But no, I do think the Shield and Shield being a huge one right now too. So
yeah. It turns out when you unlock skulls with as 3 sets of rerolls, it's real good.
Yeah,
or
it fixes all your dice.
Waller was wrong. Yeah. So I was like doing some average. Okay, never mind. All right, let's move on.
Next.
All right. Okay. So speaking to a model that doesn't have any rerolls innately is going to be Valkyrie and Elendil. But what you do get is a 4-threat model that's on a large base with medium move and flight and gets 2 power turn. So, which
better abomination.
Yep. So it's an abomination that can't really take a punch. But I guess if you really wanted to, you could double grab hammers with her with that stat line, which is really funny.
Oh, I didn't even think about that. Yeah, yes, you can.
And you could fly over all the terrain.
You could fly over all the terrain. Yeah, exactly. So I thought that was an interesting, cute thing. But like, I think if your opponent is very savage that, and if you guys are playing against a Valkyrie and you're on hammers, please make sure there's someone to punish Valkyrie on either side, because otherwise, if they just can grab two hammers, it's going to be a bad time for you. Yeah.
Yeah. Bring fallback.
Yeah, but yeah, as the Asgard player, though, if you're running hammers, maybe you want to bring fallback.
Yes.
This is because, like, Valkyrie and Elendil, they really don't have much in terms of defensive tech. It's just like a 4-3-3, 6 health, right, on each side.
Mhm.
It's so you're just hoping and praying on normal dice rolls to see you through the day. But she makes up for a lot of offensive and movement stuff. So, anyone have any first impressions on Valkyrie Elendil, Pedro or Sean?
Yeah. I know I was talking to you guys kind of off the record about it, but she feels like a character where she feels like a better Craven, and like an upgraded Craven, where she can kind of pump in a bunch of attacks and then she can kind of float between points on the board. So her stat line being 4-3-3, I could see her being really cool with like a Mutant Madman or B shape or something like that, where she may not be doing damage, but she is still advancing herself and playing the game, right? So she's still able to you're able to get both. Her action compression is insanely good here if you can play her correctly. But she kind of reminds me of Craven, where he'll get 2 attacks and he'll extend the dice based off of the sequencing. And then he has movement triggers off of that and things like that. So Valkyrie's kind of doing the same thing. It's just much more reliable, right? So she can, right, for 3 power, she can place herself within 2 to kind of get her Gur online to give her 7 dice. So, at the start. So she can kind of get that train going. Or she can Dragon Fang with a hit elusive trigger to get the Gur going. So there's a lot of kind of little combinations here that she has that kind of allow her to both hit and move about the board. But what she owns in offensive capability, you're right, she lacks in defensive power. But I think that, like we just kind of discussed a few minutes ago, that Asgard has enough tools to kind of keep her around the board if needed.
Yep. Pedro, any first thoughts on Valkyrie and Elendil?
Not really. I think she's great for like an airlift. I like that her airlift is now size 3.
Yeah.
So now you can move way more people. Way more of your models are chunky boys. I think that's pretty good. I love her gain a power and remove a damage or remove a special condition. So I don't like the part that you have to have your ally characters daze or KO, but that's okay because it's still maybe fixing something she needs. Maybe she needs a place, so gaining that 1 power and then placing can like her next activation can help out pretty good. She rolls a lot of dice. This model is, especially with like you guys said, picking up 2 hammers. I mean, you could do a 7 dicer and then just like immediately maybe spender someone and just do a bucket of dice, which is pretty cool.
Even a 9 dice Gur, like, with 2 hammers is like terrifying.
Yeah, it's just crazy amounts of damage. I mean, even in Mighty, I was just like pass her power and just like, okay, let's start moving everybody up the board, So I think she also does a lot of good. I feel like she's great with Thor just because you're fixing his positioning because like Thor getting misplaced. It feels really bad sometimes when you don't have power. Like if someone just like goes and chucks you and you don't have power for a charge, so her fixing that is actually pretty cool.
Yeah, I was just thinking that between like the needle lift, right, that can actually move either Thors, right? Because chunky big Thor is also like a size 3,
Yes.
And then you also have Loki, right? In factions, so that potentially could be 2 different range to placements, right? And that's going to get a character more or less like onto the midline. Definitely large, definitely chunkier Thor. I'm not sure about the smaller Thor, but even then, like he's still probably fine.
Yeah. Yep. I think now if she comes out, I think you might see more play with chunkier Thor, just because kind of fixes what he needs. because now you could place range 2. Like if you did the old fashioned 15 of Loki and Thor, you could probably airlift him up, and then Loki moves him up again. So now he's back in the middle.
Well, Pedro, I hate to break it to you, but
I know there's no 15, but I'm just saying that's your 15 core, and then you add to flavor.
Yeah, I mean most threat levels are 17, right? So adding a splash 2 is actually like pretty relevant here.
Yeah,
we can touch on that because that leads into the one of the new tactics cards that we can talk about towards the end. There.
Yes. Yep. But I think she's really good. I like her.
Yeah. No, I think being able to move your models and your high threat pieces, like is going to be very good. You'll probably see her splash, I think, in a couple places that have like a large like size 3 model that can project a lot of threat.
Yep.
There.
I may see her going in Midnight Suns. I'm pretty sure everybody with a bump. It's like, oh yeah, perfect. Need to move bump and punch someone for 7.
Okay, so yeah, Vulcan Elendil is a safe grab on Midnight Suns, everybody. Just going to throw that out right off the rip.
First on the cast, just said it.
Just, it's real good.
Yeah, no, I think she, God, she's like, that gear or whatever is what I feel like what Gwenum needed. Like, I feel like she's a better version of her in Suns. And they're like the same threat level.
Does her need a lift? So because I'm dumb. Mm-hmm. Does a range 2 place from turn 1 and a medium move on a small base, does that get you to the midline, or do you need to be on a medium base?
It does, yeah.
Okay.
Because I always like to do Deadpool. He walks up medium, shoots somebody, and then he can just need to do leg day at the range 2 hop onto a midline point.
Oh, okay, perfect. So does this character releasing kind of mean that Asgard doesn't necessarily need to run Wong anymore as a 2 threat? I know Asgard can put a lot of turn 1 pressure with Wong giving extra power to Jane or to Thor to be able to charge, but Valk can just port Sif or Jane or Thor too, and then they can just move and attack on the midline, right?
So I'll read you this. So like imagine a team, right, that is the Vulcan and Elendil, Thor 2, and then Mighty Thor with Wong, right? So you can pass Jane the power to charge, and then you can also then have Valkyrie either range 2 place that Mighty Thor or Big Thor, but you can do to Mighty Thor, for instance, and then she gets to charge, attack, and then also attack again, and that's like 2 on the midline that you can do.
So you're kind of giving Jane a full activation.
Yes, she gets a full activation with the setup. Like you can very much like Voltron come together to set up somebody right there.
Yeah, and these guys have a lot of turn 1 pressure too. They can wear many hats. I think these 2 characters really unlock a lot of different play styles for them. They can put on, because games I've seen them in, it's interesting because you're kind of watching deployment, right? And you're watching you or your opponent kind of try to marry up and line up the characters with what you want your game plan to be in these instances. So you could almost gotcha yourself, but if you play it correctly and you kind of get enough reps in with it, you can really make both sides of the table unattractive, right? Because you could put Sif on one side and she could move charge to the midline, and then put Valk on the other side and have her within with Mighty Thor if you wanted it, and she could be placed, move, attack. So you're kind of like picking your poison, right? They unlock a lot of options.
Yeah, agreed. Yeah, no, it's a lot more threat projection you get like particularly in faction. So
yeah, and then Warriors 3 just move, attack for a third, on the midline if you need it, right? You can put a lot of pressure. There's a lot of games of chicken, I guess, going on the midline if you're playing something like Legacy Virus or something like Inhuman Royal Weaponry, things like that.
Yeah, if it's a bunch of midline stuff, I think that these characters become like particularly scary. The other thing is that you just want to make sure that you don't lose track of the points. That's the only thing, because like you can set up everybody to do this attack, but don't forget that if this is on like Scoundrels, or something, or like not scoundrels.
There's
but
still
say
the
a
rest
bit-
of the game to play.
let's say this was on like Spider Infected. It's like maybe this SKU doesn't work like as well. But
That's a good point though, because and I'm glad that you said that, Jim, because Valkyrie can almost play a multitude of different scenarios, right? She can help the team, and then she can also kind of dive in herself to Bs and Ds because she's just got all of this movement. So I don't know about you guys, but she feels like a pretty auto include. I feel like I'm thinking about her after I'm thinking about my leader.
Yeah, I would say so because typically since you have that 2 power, right, you're always going to be able to lift somebody 2, and all of your leaders like really like that the range 2 place, right? So yeah, no, I think that makes a ton of sense. And of course, she's an Asgard, right? So she'll have access to all the Asgardian support cards to like hopefully keep her alive in the process.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think it's something that we haven't really stressed here, but the lack of defensive tech is made up for by the healing that both of these guys get. And I feel like healing is really good in a different form. You're kind of seeing a lot more characters like Doctor Strange, and you're seeing a lot of Wong, and characters that can heal now become kind of important. Right? APOC heals off of himself or things like that. So, Guardians of Valhalla, obviously you don't get to determine that. I guess you could if you threw stuff at yourself or however you want to work that, but for the most part, you don't really get control over that. So, but it's very, very good when it goes off too, because something like this into like Strange Defenders, you can just pull the hex off yourself and give yourself a good activation with her.
Yeah, no, that is true actually. So an ability like Guardians of Valhalla is interesting because like it depends on how much it weighs on the opponent's mental stack, and be like, okay, do I just need to go into Valkyrie and Elendil so they don't get like healing, and I just need to get these guys off the board? In which case, like does that divert attention from a model that you think has a more important role or activation, right? Because of that. So I think that's something to consider as well when you have an ability like this, which I think is nice. I think it's a fun design and gives players more choices and decisions they have to make, right?
Agreed.
So
agreed.
Thank you, Mark.
Wow.
Warriors 3, baby.
What?
Warriors 4.
All right, this guy's insane. What is he doing?
Listen, he went on the Rainbow Bridge, okay? We don't know where Steven is right now.
Theming.
It leads to WTC in Amsterdam. Let's just put that.
just so you know, Steven's chaining me to the wall and making me play these guys. So I'm being
chaining
forced
you
against
to
my
the
will.
wall.
What?
All right.
You're not
right.
here to you are here to defend
Pause.
yourself.
I can chain you. I didn't know you were into bondage.
He told me I couldn't leave until I played Asgard. So I said, okay.
Yeah, those are the exact words I used, definitely.
And I said gladly.
Asgard or Asgard? Who could say, audience members? Who could say?
Make sure you bring your Asgard when you're playing against Asgard.
We'll put a poll in the Discord to see.
I don't think I've ever pulled our Discord.
For legal disclaimers, we will not be putting up a poll as Pedro. That was for entertainment purposes only. Please do not. It's not legally binding that we must do that. Oh yeah, that poll, Pedro. Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Do we want to go over her Texas cards?
Yes, there's a couple. Sean, is there one you want to highlight?
I, to be honest, have not seen either of these actually played. So I've read them over quite a few times, but if someone's seen them in action and wants to give a better kind of go about how they may function, be my guest.
Okay. I think we can probably start with Warriors Frenzy, because I think that's the easier one to digest first, right? So for reminding folks, Warriors Frenzy is that when Valkyrie and Elendil daze or KO an enemy character with an attack, after the attack resolve, they can spend 3 to play the card. They can advance S, which is still really great on a large base model. And then they can either choose a terrain feature of size or an enemy character of size 3 or less within 2 and throw it in medium. So normally Valkyrie does not have any displacement, but if you manage to daze or KO an enemy, you can play this card to give them some displacement or a terrain throw for that round. So any initial thoughts on this one?
Yeah, my initial thought is that because you are dazing or KOing, you're probably attacking, which means Valk is also getting movement from her attacks in addition to the advance. So if you're dazing off of Dragon Fang, you are getting to move small twice, right? And then be able to throw. So it's even more mobility than what the card reads.
Yep, agreed. Pedro, do you think you would be using this more for terrain throw or more as the character throw?
I think more of the character throw for the displacement.
Yeah, I think I would agree with that. So is it because you think it's better for scoring, you think?
I think it's better for scoring. I think it also makes your positioning way better because you could move S, throw the character medium, do the second attack, place within 2 behind him, and now you just covered so much range.
Oh, yeah, you're right. Yeah, you could set him up for the intention to do like a gear vault potentially,
Yes.
right?
Yep.
Yeah,
so do the vault you could place, or like say if you're playing like a D map, right? You could possibly start on one side and towards the other side, and then that may allow you to do an attack, which then lets Warriors 3 play their card to let them teleport onto one side. So like you can kind of fix a whole bunch of positioning with this card, which I feel like is pretty darn cool. You can also set up like pity bubbles, like, oh, my Loki's over there, but I need to be a little bit more like punishing, so let me just vault myself over there. So I like this card a lot for the displacement and the movement.
Yeah, and I could potentially also see this, especially if it's a character that's already activated. You could also just make sure you throw that character like within range of like, a Jane or, a Thor to get mauled, right? Afterwards.
Yep. Oh, yeah. Or if it's something that you don't want to deal with, you could daze someone, move, throw a different character that you don't want to handle, like a Kingpin or something, and basically get him out for a turn, or you could throw a size 3 of something that has a lot of more movement capability, and then you could Rainbow Bridge away after the fact and get a ton of movement.
Yeah.
So toss someone into the void and then just scoot on out of there.
That's it.
Yep. Yeah. Tossing a short mover like Kingpin medium is really rough.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I think the medium throw makes this a better character throw than it is terrain for me. I think if it was a short throw, I would say, yeah, you could pop through some extra damage, see what you can do, kind of go nuts. But the medium throw really entices me to just toss characters into the corner to essentially like pseudo stagger them, depending on what you're playing, of course. But.
Yeah. No, I would agree with that.
Yeah, and also, since it does advance you on your second attack, you could add dice for it. So, because it's advance or place this turn, so you could kill something, advance off of it, which then fixes your positioning, and then do like 7 dice into something else.
Yeah. Yes. There's a lot of versatility with
this card.
And this card.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, Magical Christmas Land, if you had a whole bunch of power, you can kill something, move S, hit him with 7 dice, vault, range 2, and then, place 2 with take wings. So you're moving as far as possible, like the fastest character in the game with this card. Plus Rainbow Bridge. I mean, you're going everywhere you need to.
Are you probably taking her with Jane because you want the rerolls to fish for the triggers?
Ooh, that could be good. You can either do Jane or Loki. I think this character works just like Warriors 3, where like I feel like this box fits with any of them. Mm-hmm. I feel like it's not like restricted to one specific thing. I think that you doing Jane for rerolls is awesome. You healing with Thor is awesome, and then like just an extra reroll for 1 power is really good because even on the second attack, it's a net 0. You're not really losing anything.
Yeah, I mean, she seems also like she's very good at with pay to flips as well.
Yes.
So you could use this card to that advantage as well.
Her on Guardians with this card like
Mhm.
Guardian, Save, Shield, Empire, like you could probably just hit all the points and just like just be completely dirty on that mission.
Yeah, I don't disagree with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, not wrong. That square becomes much more manageable as you're short moving with your large base, like teleporting,
yeah.
placing
Yes.
everywhere.
The
Yep.
base size is so deceptively insane.
Yeah. Yeah, because you
Dude.
can if you're range 1 and someone else is range 1, I think range 1 large base with a 3 lets you hit them on the other side. I think I will have to check, but if it does, then you can just volt onto the other point. It gets really wild. I love this character, and this card is amazing.
Have either of you played Ride of the Valkyries?
I did play Ride of the Valkyries yesterday, and that was a really fun card.
Okay. You want to talk about it?
Yeah, so the setup was basically I went up with normal Valkyrie Brunhild. So I'll just refer to normal Valkyrie Brunhild just to make this easier. So Brunhild double walked, picked up an objective, okay, which I kind of expect her just to kind of get leveled afterwards, but I was hoping to draw characters in so that my other characters can interact. But anyway, she wakes up with 10 power. And, Valkyrie and Elendil also had like 4 power on them for specifically, and then they were able to play this card. What I did was I Warrior of Legend first with the injured Valkyrie because she was at max 10 power, basically. And she got up, and then she got this free attack with the Valkyrie Dragon Fang like rerolls, basically, right? So with the Warrior Legend rerolls and this attack, which was a 7 dice attack from Valkyrie and Elendil, I have not expended any actions yet, but I've managed to do like a significant amount of damage into Mike's models. And then after that, I still had 2 attack actions left to try to finish out any models like left over from that.
Well, the benefit of doing damage to Mike's models is Mike loses. Sorry. You specifically said Mike.
Got him.
Waller's not here to defend himself. All right, sorry about that.
I mean, Waller still won that game at the end. But
damn it. You ruined it.
Womp, womp, womp. No, but it was such a real cool activation because they both got to place 3, right? So again, we're just talking about this movement from tactics cards. It's expensive, right? Because it's 4 power per character. But the range replace is like crazy to get you back into a fight and over terrain too. It's like I also was able to leap over a building because normally Valkyrie doesn't have Brunhild doesn't have flight, right? The 3-threat one. So that was good to make her be able to vault over the terrain, attack people, right? And she can buff herself before then to do that. And then she gets like a really good activation out of it. I think this is going to be more played on a Brunhild activation than it is going to be on a Valkyrie Elendil activation, just because I think you getting that 7 dice with Valkyrie Elendil, and then she can just go on a normal turn, to repeat that 7 dice Gur again, is good. Whereas I think Brunhild when she goes, she wants to finish out like a model or 2 models, and so you're getting those 4 attacks that you can just delegate into wherever you want is like really good.
Yeah, it's funny that you say that because I was actually about to say I think Valkyrie and Elendil kind of really like this more, but I see what you mean because I'm kind of imagining it almost as placing, kind of like almost attacking as you're flying by, right? And then, hey, I got the trigger on my attack and I'm moving again. So this is Rainbow Bridge on steroids for an extra power.
Sean, you can absolutely use it just for Valkyrie and Elendil just to give him like extra hidden run capability, right?
Yeah. So, I think I explained that clearly in the beginning. You don't have to have both of these guys on your board to play this.
Correct.
So,
you can either play one or both, basically.
Yeah. Which is really neat. For I think it kind of brings original, Brunhild. I think it brings her back in, mostly because she kind of gets that 3rd attack too. It almost makes these 3 threats, man. Look at them; they're getting beefed up. Because what does she do on her card? Right, she charges and then she dice manipulates and attacks. So this just plays into that. Plus, it gives her movement that she sorely kind of would like to have. And if you use it and she gets diced and she goes down, then she goes down swinging. Right, it's probably what you wanted her to do in the beginning.
Right. So normally, if she's at full power, like after she completes her entry side, she only gets that 2 attacks and maybe a terrain throw, right? Most of the time. This allows her to get 4 attacks during that activation, right? And you just
Right.
you just let it all go. You just sink all the power you want and just take out activations.
Yep.
So I think that was a very eye-opening thing. It was just say, oh, this is really cool that you can do this. So
yeah, it's making these 3 threats that aren't Heimdall punch above their weight class.
yes.
Which
So
is very cool.
Poor
And,
Heimdall.
Yep. And now that you guys also brought up Doom Prophecy, I mean, you could also Doom Prophecy her turn as well if you really want to just let her go,
Yeah, I love that they are leaning into these cards the way foes led into their tactics cards, where they gave you a specific set for them that really enhanced their play style. And Asgard's now getting the same thing big time. Or like cards that are really kind of like catered to the characters that kind of could use a boost.
Yeah. I think this has been interesting to see these couple cards are just we're doing big play cards, right? They're you're taking a turn and we want to enhance these turns to feel really extra, right?
Yeah, these are big swings, right? So you're, like you said, you're kind of doing what these Norse gods want to do, right? They want to come in and just bonk and do big old swings with these cards for massive dazing and KOing potential, which means that they can kind of play the game that MCP is leaning towards.
Yep.
But they also can play scenario, because look at all of this movement tech we're talking about.
Yep.
So, I mean, they can hunt. I mean, Valkyrie and Elendil can hunt characters down. She seems like she's kind of, with these cards as help, one of the best. It's like Webb's level-esque to just hunt you down and just...
I was about to say that. You could just bypass Spider Tracker and just start hunting webs with Asgard.
Mm-hmm.
Because these are all places. So you're just oh, damn. You're not going to hide in the corner anymore.
Yeah, I'm thinking as it, my foe's brain is kind of working here. And I'm seeing it where Craven kind of gets his double attacks, and then you get surprise web head, and you get extra dice, and you get a third attack, right? And then you get all this movement off of it, and he's kind of just getting this one big turn. And Ride of the Valkyries and these other cards and what they can do, it just almost seems like we're taking that and we're refining it and making it better, right? More movement. Attacks are bigger. There's more you can do here. Doom Prophecy can help. You can kind of burn a good amount of your tactics cards. These guys feel to me like they're kind of your turn 2 or 3, 4, depending on where you're at, is a massive swing turn where these guys are just unleashing hell on your opponent.
Yeah. Yeah, this is it's pretty nuts.
Yeah, it feels like you can kind of run the board and kind of flip points or hold points, and then kind of burn these cards and say, I'm going to go all in this turn and just damage and daze and take points, and then run around, continue to move, continue to heal, continue to keep yourself up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can probably if you combo Ride with Warrior Frenzy, it's just oh, okay, place, attack with Broomhilda, and then 7 dice with Valkyrie. She kills something, then you move S, then you throw something. You're just oh god, that turn lasts forever.
Yeah, and these aren't even considering your other pieces you're probably playing, right? You're probably pairing these guys with 5 threats.
Yeah,
who can also handle themselves.
Yep.
So there's a lot of synergy, a lot of things. I think that Valkyrie probably punches above her weight class again, like Warriors 3, and moves. Definitely, her mobility is above her weight class. Yeah. So okay, I will take that. I'll take 2 out of the 3 for a lack of, she can be put down pretty quick. But okay, so she's a glass cannon. That's what they do.
Which is fine, because you're typically going to be running a tall list. So even if Valkyrie ends up dazing, I think most likely that you're probably going to still have priority most games, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Which means she's kind of a good character for survival.
Well, if you have priority, no need to play survival, right?
Yeah, right,
because you're always tall. Yeah,
right. Never mind.
Rather,
Yes.
who needs survival when you just take a bunch of placement offensive cards instead for your big comeback
just
turn?
murder weapons.
Fair enough. Yep.
Yeah, and it feels like these guys, like you said, I feel like it also takes the pressure off of your leaders. Just like my dad plays Asgard now, and it's like as long as I get rid of his Jane, like his team doesn't feel as like aggressive. But I feel like now with these two models, it's like everybody is a problem. Like I'm gonna have issues all over the place, and especially like with this card and all the new stuff. It just feels really good.
Yeah, because prior to that, like it was just like you usually start with like Jane or Loki, then add Bill, right?
Yeah.
To the list, and Bill's like a great model, but he's not a like come back from behind model, right? He's a very steady, like good control model. That happens to SmackDown flying characters really hard.
Yeah.
But other than that, though, yeah, like you were really leaning on your 5/5 to do a lot of the work, and now you have a lot more models that can potentially just get a lot more damage just out there, put a little bit of more activation, pressure on people.
Yeah.
Not that you would want to, but you can airlift Bill. How fun is that?
You could. I'm trying to figure out when you would want to do that.
I was trying to think of the same thing, but I couldn't come up with anything.
Yeah. I mean,
But
I guess
the fact that you can do it, there you go.
You can, yeah. I guess if you need to really rotate him from one side of the board to another, let's say like he needs to go from like one side of the B to another, like maybe I can like justify that potentially.
Mm-hmm. Valkyrie,
you could do it just to like flex, be like, look, I can airlift and I'm still going to beat you.
Yeah, or you can airlift in splash models like Venom.
Okay, all right, Sean. Enough Venom.
What? He's size 3. Bring him up. Bring that boy up.
I mean, you could like aggressive into position for airlift.
Or I'm seeing some new mutants unlocked here. Valkyrie there with Venom. And now you can then teleport when Venom gets hit.
So this is a Venom podcast.
Yeah, right. Slowly converting.
Well, there is a battle report where I do use Venom against Jin with New Mutants. So it's relevant because if we could go re-record that, I think I'd bring Valkyrie too.
No comment on that.
Okay. Listen, it's relevant. She's a good splash, I think, is where I was really going with that.
Yeah.
But these team tactics cards like unlock a lot I think there's some incentive like rate to play in affiliation. Like a lot of incentive to play these characters in affiliation, but
yep. Let's see. Any other thoughts on either Ride of the Valkyries or Warriors Frenzy or Valkyrie and Elendil before we move on?
No, play them.
Not for me.
All right, cool. The last thing we want to talk about here is that I want to talk about the new Asgard card called Deeds Worthy of Song. Okay, so this is a new VP card for folks that haven't seen it yet. It's interesting. So you kind of play this card during the power phase, and it's just there, right? So it becomes like this side quest card that you can sort of fulfill. Any of these deeds will give you worthy deeds tokens. And if you get 2 of them during a cleanup phase, you can exchange 2 of them, discard the card, and get 2 VPs extra. So it gives Asgard additional scoring mechanism that they get for additional VPs. So the first clause is an ally character KOs an enemy character that has a threat of 5 or more. So you must KO him. That's the thing, which is important to get that deed. The next one is Drive Out the Invaders. 2 or more enemy characters are dazed or KO'd by collisions during an ally character's activation. So interesting, but Asgard would be the place you could do that. Protect the Small. This one's very good. So as a reward for taking a 2 threat, here's a clause you can potentially fulfill. Protect the Small. An ally character dazes or KOs 2 or more enemy characters during its activation, ends an activation within 2 of an allied character that has a threat value of 2 or less. It doesn't matter if they're dazed yet or still up. As long as you end up within 2, this will qualify for this. And finally, Ragnarok. An ally character is dazed or KO'd, and 2 or more ally characters have been dazed or KO'd this round. So I'll leave it to the floor. Steven, Pedro, John, anyone have initial thoughts on Deeds of Worthy Song?
It's fun.
Take it every game.
Protect the small seems crazy. That's quite a list you need to check off here.
To check off, yeah.
I love that it has what is it? Ends an activation within 2 of another allied character that has a threat value of 2 or less.
Yep.
So Asgard doesn't even have any 2 threats in affiliation, which I think is interesting.
Right. The assumption is that the Protect the Small will be a civilian, quote unquote, in their eyes, right? Someone that isn't normally an Asgardian that they're protecting.
Right. Or it's Throg. Frog Thor.
Oh, that would be awesome.
I don't know if Frog Thor would be a 2 threat. Like,
just
like Spider-Ham.
Yeah, like Spider-Ham. He just has a hammer throw, and that's it.
Yep, that's it. It's a body with a hammer throw.
That's it. And every time it does, if you roll a skull, it places you 1 back.
yeah.
Driving out invaders is interesting because collision, dazing, or KOing is harder now. These seem like they're. It reminds me of and I'm not sure, I'm blanking on the card, but Spider Noir has a like a sleuth card that's similar to something like this. Yep. Although it seems like it's much easier to meet the requirements than this.
Spider Sleuth.
Yes.
I found Spider Sleuth is actually very hard to fulfill because for you to get the tokens, a lot of times Spider Noir must not be dazed to do so. And what happens when I play that card is like, oh, everyone punch the crap out of Spider Noir.
You just put a target on him, right? You just put a big old sign that's just
I'm on the case. Then he gets like cartoon brawl. You know, just like, oh,
as he would have wanted it.
Yeah, as he would have wanted. So, but it actually ends up being like hard to get those VPs from, and webs are typically very like tight on cards. I mean, not that Asgard aren't either, but the fact that this is available to all Asgardians on your squad and not just like one character that you can just counterplay against, I think that does help a lot. The mistake I made yesterday, though, when I did play this card was that I didn't take a 2 threat with me, and not having the option to do Protect the Small, I think really hindered my ability to fulfill the Deeds card for VPs.
Did you find that you were on a good track to making this work?
Yes, because I think 5 threats are very common, and I think KOing a 5 threat is often like something you want to do in this affiliation anyway. And drive out invaders is interesting because like it, you do have enough characters, especially your Thors, right? They're able to do enough collisions into people to get that song. Ragnarok softly, what it does is it keeps them from potentially dazing 3 characters in 1 round, right? So basically, what Ragnarok says, like, hey, if they daze 3 of your characters or KO one of KO your characters in a round, you'll get a Deeds token.
Yeah, I also kind of, the more I'm reading the card, the more I realize that if you somehow came into the perfect scenario, you could do this multiple times. Right, because it happens during any cleanup phase. So you score 2 VPs, right? But does it stay?
No, it says you do discard the card. So as soon as you cash it in for the 2 VPs, the Deeds is gone.
Oh, from the card and discard it. Okay, I see. Got it. Okay.
Yeah. You're not going to continue to farm this, but I think assuming you're taking a 2 threat, I think a lot of these are kind of things you're already doing in the first place. So
and Asgard, for the most part, are. I mean, historically they've taken Wong, right? So kind of fits an interesting plan, but the 5 threats pair nice with a good 2. So for squad building purposes, so it's not crazy to be taking one whatsoever. It's just an interesting kind of, if you're looking at this card, it's like, which one do you take?
Which one do you like meat?
Well, if you're playing like Rocket or something, you know what I mean, and they're kind of sitting in the back, you have to be within 2 of them at the end, right, to get this to protect them, quote unquote. So if you're playing like a Koi or something here, then that seems fine.
Yeah.
I think Okoye would be a pretty good person to do this with, considering that they probably have taken an attack for you. The other person would be like, I think Nebula is very active, like
Ooh, yes.
in their lines,
Yes,
So
that's a good shout.
And the thing is, like Nebula, because she hits way above her weight, right? She can help you work towards dazing or KOing those enemy models, right? So she can help set up those. Then the character, dazes one or two characters, right? And you just have to end with into Nebula.
I actually really like her as an include here. Yeah, that's a good shout.
That's a good idea.
So
as Guardians of the Galaxy.
As Guardians of the Galaxy. I'm coming to a dual list near you.
Yeah.
For Ragnarok, you need basically it's reading like you need 3 people dazed and KO'd. Correct.
Yep. Okay. So considering your list is relatively tall to begin with, like it prevents them from trying to like daze the entire team.
Yeah.
I think that one's a little harder because like I'm finding more nowadays that people are being more selective with like who they want to daze at a time. And I think the most likely scenarios is going to be like the first 3, assuming you take a 2 threat to get the deeds.
Yeah, that too. I mean, you could put Bob and just blow yourself up and try to gain that one extra that extra token to get the victory point.
Oh yeah, that's true. Oh, you know what? I'm reading this now, and grunts would qualify for Ragnarok as well.
Yes. Yep.
Ooh.
Oh, ninjas! You can just vanish. And you met the criteria.
You're 1/3 of the way there.
Yeah, right.
oh man, someone's gonna do something really stupid with Ragnarok. I'm sure. Like,
I feel like Jane feels like slay the monster and drive out the invaders just on her charge.
Yeah, I kind of like protect the small, like you were saying, Jen. I kind of like a Thor 1 using his spender and then like walking towards like a Black Widow or something and getting this. It's very oddly thematic.
You don't even have to walk because you have it's end your activation. You can like double tap, throw something, try to finish the requirements, and then Rainbow Bridge next to someone.
Oh, that's right. You can still use the tactic.
Because all you gotta do is end your thing. Same thing with Valkyrie. You can like vault, use her tactics card, throw something, move. So you're just like kind of fixing everything.
Right. I think those characters that give you the third attack have a good chance of kind of making this run.
Yes.
Yeah. I'm noticing that now that I'm thinking about grunts, it's a 2-way street for grunts, either for the opponents or for yourself. Like your grunts contribute towards Ragnarok, and their grunts can help you contribute to drive out invaders and protect the small.
Yep.
Actually.
Yeah. So I mean, if you're playing into any grunt style teams, I mean, this feels horrible into Shield. I will tell you that because after you burn Brace, you are just taking everything to the face. Like there's no blocking. That's it.
Yeah.
It's like, do I just die off a million throws? Cool.
Yeah, your double bubble does not actually help you for dodge rolls, so that actually becomes a harder thing to swallow there.
Yeah, take that Hydra Troopers.
You can slay the monster. The monster is Namor, and then they're invaders. Boom! You just filled 2 requirements, and you're thematic.
Yep.
Very cool. This is a cool card. I like the style. I like the art. I like the title. It's really cool. I think this is a pretty cool flavor win.
Yeah. I think it actually is playable. It's going to be situational. I think you have to have like some things aligned to make sure that it works, and you have to make sure the 2 threat I think like makes sense here.
Yeah,
but I think it's definitely one of the most playable extra VP cards, out there.
Yep, double bubble Asgard version. Jeez.
Yeah. It's pretty good. I like this card. I like also that it's any cleanup phase. It's not like a lot of cards that have like a million things to do. Sometimes it just feels like you got to do it in that round, and if you don't, that's it. Like you just burnt the card for nothing. So I like that they're like showing the path that they kind of want to go to make the game last a little longer. So they're like, okay, let's bring this type of card in because a lot of these cards are coming out now.
Yeah, it's just a lot of information to remember. I think the thing I'm thinking about with this is some people might kind of lean too hard into the card for those 2 VP and might forget to play the game.
Yeah.
Yes, and you got to make sure that you're kind of doing both here because you could lean hard into this, or you could do some cool stuff and forget that you're meeting requirements,
Yeah.
as things go on.
This has to be like you have to have your version. You have to have the regular version on the table, and then someone bring out like a notebook, and like you have to check off everything like a bingo card.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just like, oh, I got that. Cool, thanks.
Yeah. It does feel like a bingo card, right, in practice now.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it is cool. It is definitely, actually, now that I'm looking at it, I really kind of want to try it. I'm kind of actually really interested in giving it a shot. Very cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Steven, any thoughts on Deeds Worthy of Song?
Yeah, bro. I got lots of thoughts. Sean, don't put it in your WTC list.
Steven, this is a competitive card and a competitive scene, so
Hot take.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's cool. I like when they do cards like this. I like the noir card, and I do think it gives people something to strive for as they're learning an affiliation too. Because I remember when I switched to Spider People, and when the new box came out, and I was like, oh, I'm going to make this noir card work, and I tried it, like at least five games before I realized it didn't work. Right, so like, or it was like really hard to pull off at least. Not that it didn't work. It's just, yeah, as Jin said, they kill your noir. So.
So most time it doesn't work. I listen, Steven. I'm willing to admit at this point that Spire Sloop is just the juice is very not either made or not worth the squeeze.
Yeah, the problem is the okay, whatever. That's that card. I was just gonna say it incentivizes you to play noir in a way where he's gonna die.
These are facts. These are true facts.
And so I think in comparison to that, one, this Asgard card maybe feels a little bit more like they're going to play, they're doing their normal play patterns and while kind of achieving some of this stuff. So I did like the Nebula call out, Jim. So there you go.
Okay. That 2-threat's going to be highly contested on your team, by the way. So good luck.
Oh, I know. I was just realizing that. And Wong, I was also thinking while we were, talking. So
just use Bob. It's okay.
Yeah. I'm using Bob, so fuck off.
Perfect.
Oh, wow. What if I wanted Bob?
You can't. He's Cabal affiliated.
And?
Okay.
Don't worry.
There's two to the Cabal affiliate, 2 threads.
I'm not taking fucking Bullseye, man. Like, jeez.
Wow, that would have been like a year ago. That would have been like heresy.
I know.
So.
Maybe old Bullseye. I'll take him.
Yeah, right.
The times certainly have changed, everybody.
Yeah. So it does sound a little bit like we've covered some of the Changer Enhanced Asgard as we were kind of going, and kind of talked a little bit about, will these models be splash in other lists? So, like, I guess, do you have anything else to say, like kind of bullet points or like a summary in those two respects? Like, I think we've talked a lot about how they enhance the Asgard affiliation, definitely. So, what's everyone's thoughts on like splash in other lists and stuff like that?
Yeah, I think kind of like I was saying earlier, where you can kind of splash them in Sam, or Midnight Suns and things like that, and get some good value out of these guys. In terms,
Dorm was mentioned.
Yeah, I don't necessarily know if either one of these two really care for power leaderships. Because I think they kind of work inherently within themselves, so I don't really think that's as much of a issue for them.
I'm pretty sure having an online take win on Valkyrie is still objectively good. I mean, turn one.
Sure, right. Being able to do something where if you're like Mighty Avengers or something, and you can pass her a power or a force, and she can get past a power, and she can place herself within 2, and then get a 7 dicer off the bat. Absolutely.
Yeah.
But for the most part, I think that these.
What about a Warriors 3 that comes back through Dark Restoration?
Oh my god, that'd be awesome.
Yeah,
it's possible already.
It is. That would be awesome.
They crawl out of the grave, and here they are again.
Yeah.
I think whenever Eric gets back to trying the Medusa leadership, I think I would like to see him try Warriors 3 under the Medusa leadership, actually.
Oh, that'd be cool.
Crap. I just said that out loud, too, and now I'm like, I got to buy this box for Dormammu.
You could do Steve 3 under Warriors 3. Seems pretty cool. I mean, reserve members.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Anything that, I think anything that promotes, like, re-rolling things like that. So definitely X-Force.
The actual answer is probably Shadowlands Daredevil.
Yeah, Shadowlands.
I hate it, but yeah.
When's the last time you heard anyone say that?
A long time, to be fair.
Yeah. Dust off your cables.
Oh man.
Oh, the dad pun. You're about to be a dad. They're just coming at, they're oozing out of you.
Dust them off the shelf, man. Get that cable out.
Yep. Could you, Jen, I know you used to do Storm. Would you do Storm with Valkyrie?
I think, yeah, X-Men should really look at Valkyrie actually quite a bit because there's a lot of placement manipulation between like the leadership and her ability to lift people. Someone being able to lift Beast or Colossus is actually really nice, actually, as far as like letting him like do some bigger plays there. So yeah, it's a lot worth exploring. Like she definitely like changes your threat ranges, right, for a lot of affiliations. And I think that's going to be an interesting place to see where she's going to fit and manipulate the board more. Also, Storm hopping off of a large base model that's only 4 threat. It means you still can go pretty wide in the Storm list. You're just like, ugh, you know?
I mean, even Warriors 3 on a Storm list, you could just hop off of them.
You could.
Yeah,
but, you know.
Professor X likes them too.
Yeah.
True.
Because of the out of activation 2-power attack to fund somebody else.
You could do like Cyclops also.
We don't talk about Cyclops.
Oh,
I'm also looking at these guys, Warriors 3, that is, and I look at this for anybody, right? But like something like Foes, where you get the reverse pierce for attacks, and you get to utilize it on their turn. So anything that kind of same thing with like Dracula and like clapback characters. So anything that can promote benefits, right? Warriors 3 in Strange Defenders, you can give them Hex on their turn.
Yep, that's pretty annoying.
Yeah, so there's a lot of cool things to work with here with that. Yes.
You know, an Asgardian Guardian. God damn it. The Asgard Guardian Splash.
What do you
The Asgard Guardian Splash. You can dice fix for Warriors 3, and that feels pretty good as well.
Yeah, that too.
Yeah.
Oh, you mean with
Adam's leadership? Yeah.
Yeah, Adam can also boost these guys' defense. Look at that. Keep them
There you
around.
go. Yeah. Keep 'em around a little longer. Make sure you get try to get the skull trigger, double skull. Or just keep it wild. Whatever. I don't know.
Yeah.
Dice fixing is really good.
Yeah, actually, Defender Strange, like being able to give him more dice, right? So they only take like 1 damage. Then they heal the damage and walk towards you, and then punch you in the face.
And they
for
kind of like
Hex.
the portal a lot too, because if they can walk through it, or you can set it up where they are on it immediately, you can teleport in, get the range 2 off, get the range 3 off, get other range 2 off, right?
Yeah.
Without having to do any like repositioning. So.
Yeah.
So yeah, I would say that this overall has been a pretty good win for Asgard's box. For counterplays, I mean, we mentioned that these are still relatively fragile models at the end of the day with no condition immunity. Like they're still very vulnerable to conditions for the most part. They can just get spiked occasionally, especially Valkyrie has a lower energy defense, so late energy attacks are good into her as well as Mystics. So. I don't know. Yeah.
Worth noting that neither character has displacement outside of Texas cards.
Yes. So they're here to blend and move, I think.
Yes, which promotes a lot of fighting, or in my opinion, promotes a lot of pay to flips.
Yeah, I definitely think pay to flips definitely become a much more interesting conversation. Anything to add, Pedro, you think?
No. I think they're pretty good. I was just trying to figure out other spots they can go, but I think we hit the head on the nail there.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Yep. That's what they mean. That's how it goes.
Yes. Yep. Yeah, so TLDR, they're good in Asgard. They're also very splashable. Definitely check them out. I think these are definitely good models, even if they're relatively fragile models, quote unquote. I think the amount of utility and just like, ceiling activations they can give is like, will make them really interesting.
I agree.
Okay. Well, thank you for your insight, Stephen Bork. Would you like to close us out here?
No, actually, why don't you do us the honors this evening?
Okay.
No, I can do it. I can do it.
All
All right. So, no, I agree. I think these are really good models. Go out, grab them. They're probably already out, question mark. But if they're not already out, they're out in a couple days. So, great sculpts too. We did not talk about the amazing job or looks, these models have. Like Valkyrie is like really amazing. So, like huge model, kind of everyone loves Malekith for the cat. It's very similar. So great, sculpts there. So they've come a long way since the first Valkyrie. So, very cool. Without further ado, you can join our Discord, link below, email us at 111@gmail.com. The RSMP link is also below. And if you watched our Getting Better, or whatever I named it, I love alliteration, by the way, for those who haven't noticed already. But anyways, that was series was kind of we're doing things surrounding some cool RSMP videos that you can watch on deployment that Jin did. Really high quality, very visual, and super good for upping your game. Leave a review on Apple and Spotify if applicable. Thank you, Ben, for coming on tonight. And then we have our affiliate link, huge miniatures below. And Godspeed, Volt Stagger.